Hey, Brian.
Oh, hey, AJ.
Hey, man. Hey, you remember?
No.
You remember when all those review outlets and everybody, like ACG and a bunch of other people, shit all over the PSVR version of Hitman 3 before it even came out because they said it was gonna look like shit and run like shit? You remember that? Good
No,
times.
no, I don't really pay attention to what other channels are doing or saying because they're always like wrong and shit. So,
They are. This is a sweet karmic justice served. No, actually, in all seriousness, they do need to fix that on the PC side, and because that's also going to be important for us when we get our PSVR two version, the inevitable PSVR two version. We want it to be good, and I think they're a little inexperienced in the VR space
I
when it
want it to
comes to
be
gameplay.
I want the PlayStation VR 2 version to be inimitable.
Inimitable.
Inimitable. I think MRI should start the show today. He starts us off with the $2 tips and says, "Happy Friday, cats." I agree. Let's start the show. This is PSVR Gamescast Live, where we film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here, 6 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube. If you're watching it live, then hello. How are you doing? If you're not watching it live, remember, if live isn't really your thing, or you don't care to watch us and look at our beautiful faces for the next hour, you can always head on over to podcast services of your choice, like Spotify, or Apple Podcast, or other things that I've never even heard of. But guess what? We're kind of everywhere, and you can listen to us over there. So make sure you thumbs up those things, thumbs up this thing, and I'll thumb up your thing. I don't think that's how this goes on. My name's Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole. And this guy over here, my hetero life mate, AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
There will be no thumbing ups of things anywhere, Brian. What is up, man? What is up, Game Cats? Chairface says, we out here? Yes, damn right, baby. Happy Friday. And I know I might have pissed some people off with that opening statement. I'm just having fun. I really don't give two shits today. My foot hurts, and I've got it propped up with my broken toe in all of its glory. And yeah, man, I'm here to have a good time, and I hope you guys are too. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. And I mean, and there's going to be a few people out there. I know Todd, the father mucking Gamecat, is concerned about this. But there's going to be a few people who were with me when this showed up today, and were a little bit surprised. I was like, I don't even really remember ordering Last Labyrinth special edition from Strictly Limited Games. Strangely, it's the German version. I have no idea.
Oh yeah. Wait, what does that say in the top right? It's like Enforcer.
And Forderlich. It means it means necessary. So PSVR necessary to play this game.
Where's Bell? Get Bell to translate it for us.
Hell yeah. But this is it's like I've never seen a Strictly Limited game show up in a different language. Like they're I think UK company. I have no idea what happened, but it took forever for this to happen. So I'm assuming they had to I don't know, circumvent the ESRB or PEGI ratings or something to get it out. They must have had some major problems. So who knows what that was. But anyway, how's it going, AJ?
Great, man. I've got some exciting news. I've been for 2 days straight working on my Zenith tips video. Tips are back, baby. Woo! It's been a long time cometh. But yeah, I will be posting that right after the show. I just got to get the thumbnail done. And yeah, man, I'm really, really excited about that and the game, which we will certainly get into. I see Bel Ramio in the chat already with the $5 donation. Says 6 days until Zenith. Hype train, let's go. Choo choo. Yeah, man. We got even more reason to be excited about Zenith. But, we've got some other things to take care of first. Isn't that right, Brian?
Yeah, we sure do, man. We always like to thank a whole lot of people on this show. People who contribute to the channel by not only giving us tips during this show, which definitely is very, very helpful. We appreciate that, but also can kind of pay in our salaries by heading on over to patreon.com/withoutparolegames, for giving us $1 a month, $3 a month, $5 a month. I'm trying to make each of those tiers a little bit more worthwhile as time progresses. You'll be seeing some exclusive videos over on Patreon eventually. There's going to be some AMAs, some Hangouts, that kind of shit that are going to be Patreon exclusive. So $5 will get you access to those. But for now, $3 will get your name on this list down below, right? That illustrious list down below, and also access to voice chat over on Discord. Otherwise, Discord is totally free, so make sure you join us on Discord as well. Click the link in the description.
So badass in there.
And don't forget, we're trying to hire AJ. That's going to be a big thing ASAP.
Speaking of the Gamecat Cowboy Dan, yeehaw, is asking how much is the $3 Patreon in Australian? It's just $3 Australian, right? And then it converts.
It's $3 American, and it'll just charge him whatever it is. So if you go to patreon.com/withoutparolegames, you select the $3 tier, it'll take out it'll tell you what the Australian conversion of that is. I could probably go to Google right now and look it up, but you could also do that too. So that's always an option, folks. It doesn't matter what region you're in. Patreon will take care of that shit all automatically. AJ. Other than those people, though, other than people who support us financially, there's a whole other group of people we'd like to thank, isn't there?
That's right, Brian. It is Friday, and so now is the day where we would like to thank those who support us in another way by changing their name to something Gamecat related, or something Gamecat adjacent, as you and something Gamecat like to say. And this week, we have, oh my God, a lot. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new Gamecats to welcome to the Gamecat Dojo. Starting with Toby, the Game Dingo.
Bing! Dude, we were so late on Toby, the game Dingo. He was supposed to get a shout out last week. Apologize to you, Toby. But we got you, man. We got you covered. You know, if we miss you, just let us know. We'll get you the following week. Thank you, so Toby.
We've got another one that you've influenced, and that is Flame Hat, the love of his life cat. I love it. Great. Loving the Gamecat adjacent names, as you and Gamecat adjacent like to say.
Flame Hat makes me feel so warm and fuzzy inside. It must be that really hot hat he's got.
We've also got Dave, the UK Gamecat, who's been around for a while. Have you not missed? I guess he must have just changed it. But he's been around forever.
Yeah, if I see somebody and I'm like, I don't remember you, but if you don't use the hashtag Gamecat, like I don't know, like this is kind of a lot of cats right now, and I've very frequently been like, AJ, is this person new? I don't know. I got to go check, go back in the comments and see. So help me out, man. Like my brain doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So you got to help me out with the hashtag Gamecat in the comments.
Is serial killer the Gamecat buying without parole?
Bing! I mean, that's the most important question, right? Acquisitions are everything, and serial killers just buying up channels left and right. Yep. Who knows who's next? Maybe it's us. That would be nice.
We're just gonna buy every PSVR YouTube channel out there.
So,
if only we had the money.
If only there were other ones to buy.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Texotron, the port shovel Gamecat.
Bing!
I totally missed the inside joke on that, but only the chosen know. I do know it now, though.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I pour the cat's latch onto everything, and port shovel was a good recent inside joke.
And finally, last but certainly not least, we've got Move Master Mick, the shape throwing PSVR Gamecat.
Dude, that is definitely a long time coming right there. Move Master Mick, the shape-throwing PSVR Gamecat. That is not a term I was familiar with before Mick introduced me to it, and now I know what throwing shapes means. It means you're getting your groove on. It means you're dancing. You're at the club. You're doing some crazy shit. Thank you, guys. Remember, if you change your name because you love us almost as much as we love you, make sure you put hashtag Gamecat in the comments somewhere in a video so I can find it. Not in the live stream. It doesn't work that way. And then we'll give you a shout out in next week's show. Thank you so very much. And let's talk to a few other people who tipped us during that segment. Dragoon's Eye 76 with a $2 tip says hashtag hire AJ. Yeah, I agree.
Thank you. Hashtag Legend of Dragoon VR. Sony.
There you go. Yeah, that was obviously not a thing. Ooh, hey, Donatello, the scientist Gamecat with we're just gonna leave Flame Hat on the screen. Apparently, I didn't seem to take that one off.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be all right. You can just hang out with us.
He can stay there. Yep. He belongs to us now.
He's a good boy. He's just hang out with us. All right, Donatello, who's hopefully is feeling better with $10 tips says Dr. tells me Ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Not today. Not today. Not today. Love you, Brian, AJ, and the entire GameCat community. You are all special to me. Live full. Live life to the fullest. Big heart.
Hell yeah, Donnie. Good to see you back, man. Glad you're doing better after your surgery. Fucking trooper, man. I knew you'd pull through. We're not going to lose you. Oh, man. Awesome. No, really, dude. Good to see you.
Yeah, I think
back, my friend.
Supposed to be leaving the hospital yesterday, so I got to check in with him and see if let us know if you're home or not. See if that worked out or not. Mad Max the Metaverse Gamecat VR with the $5 tip says, don't know if you're going to talk about Hitman Y2 update, but I'm pissed. PCVR has full motion in VR while we're stuck with the gamepad. No news from IOI. I mean, I don't think you should be pissed, man. It doesn't sound like they get a very good version.
I don't. Yeah, we have the better version right now from the sound of it. I mean, even other developers that I saw that played like hundreds of hours of the PSVR version were saying that it's like straight up broken, that they're getting like 5 frames per second and all sorts of things. So, no, I'm totally cool with this. I'll take the beautiful, amazing, fun version of the game that we currently have. Could it be better with motion support? Yes, but they look like they still have a lot of work to do and a lot of stuff to figure out first. So in the meantime, if you have it, just enjoy the game, man. Like you know, it's awesome. It's a great game, and hopefully they do get it fixed and patched up and major improvements, and then that translates to the PSVR 2 version.
Yeah, I would say at this point, just give them some time and let them figure out their PCVR stuff, and then by the time PSVR 2 rolls around, we should have the best version there is. Let's hope. Let's really hope, man. But yeah, I don't feel terrible at this point about not getting the move support.
Well, I think this shows you why we didn't get move support.
Because they weren't.
Sounds capable? Like, yeah. I mean, definitely. They have a lot, and that's kind of what I figured. They saw the move support most likely, and they tried to do it. They were probably like, "What the fuck is this?" And then they weren't able to figure something out. I mean, we still have developers that just don't know how to use the move controllers, and it goes beyond that. I mean, you've got everything you need with PCVR at this time. You should, anyways, and they still couldn't figure it out. So, hopefully, this is something that just more developers just need to educate themselves about VR. It's going to be tricky if this is something we run into a lot. This is one of the things that all the PC VR, like, or let me just say, like, the really like VR enthusiasts and stuff, this is their worry about AAA games coming to VR. I saw Nathan posted like something like Medal of Honor, Sniper Elite, which was good with the aim, to be fair. Mm-hmm. And then now Hitman 3. And so I've said from the beginning, I understand these concerns. This is what they're concerned about, is when AAA devs do this and they just mess it up. But I don't know. There's no. I wish I could say, oh, they'll get it eventually, but you don't want to have too many games fall on their face before that happens. You know.
Agreed. MRI Gamer with the $5 tip says, playing Zenith day one, but definitely watching PSVR Underground tips beforehand. Sorely missed those number one VR tips guide. Sorely missed these number one VR tips guide.
I'm so excited.
YouTuber, man. By far.
You're
the number one VR tips guide YouTuber. That's quite the fucking title, man.
I hope so, man. I hope it lives up to, and I think it will, because I spent an ungodly amount of time on it. So I hope it's a nice return to form, because, I'm back to doing tips again, which it's been a long time. That's kind of how I made my name in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we were going to bring you on to Without Parole exclusively to do walkthroughs and guides and tips. Yeah. And since then, it has been not so much what happens. Few and far between.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, let's get on to our first news story. I think we all woke up today to a new PSVR trailer from Sony, which was, I don't know, man. Like, I'm going to bring it up here on the screen, but what was your feeling about this new trailer?
My feeling is that I have the top comment in this video. Yeah, I'm super proud of that. Couldn't have done it without the support of the cats. and I'll be here all week. No, man, it's so I had two different thoughts. Number one, I was like, okay, did they like re-upload the same video again? Because they keep doing this live the game YouTube video, and I get that that's the phrase that they're gonna try to, that's the tagline for PSVR that they're going with, just like how PS5 has no limits.
Yeah, I mean, like, live the game. Like, I don't know.
I don't mind it.
I mean, I don't mind it, but it just feels so it feels like they sat around a conference room table and were like, anybody have any good? Just the first one that was thrown out there. They're like, okay, we'll go with that because it just sounds so kind of throwaway.
Those kinds of taglines and stuff, it was always about the commercials. I think these are more just like quick sizzle reel. And they start off showing stuff like what I noticed was different from last time was they have stuff like After the Fall on there, which I don't know why they're promoting. They need to stop promoting After the Fall because it's broken.
It crashes. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, luckily we told everybody don't buy it because it is broken. We know it's not a bad game. It's not. But the port or whatever, or the version on PSVR. See, it happens to us too, PCVR. It's just usually from indie devs, not AAA devs. But yeah, that was on there, and then they added Puzzling Places and Song in the Smoke, which are in fact actually nominated for in the DICE Awards this year. I think Shuhei really likes those games and has been kind of pushing them, and I'm glad. Like, that's why I love Shuhei, because I think Puzzling Places was really great, and obviously Song in the Smoke was our 2021 Game of the Year.
I've seen it at least one or two better suggestions of PSVR taglines there could be from Sony, and I really want it just to be PlayStation does what Xbox don't. I think that's fair. Red Rover, the effing Gamecat with a $10 tip, says, sorry for this. I like how he apologizes ahead of time. Sniper Elite on aim. How the heck do you get past the shooting range in the first mission? I've tried all afternoon. It absolutely will not activate the house door. I'm totally stalled. Is the house door? I don't think it's the house door you walk through. I think there's like, isn't there like a big open gate that you walk through?
How do you get past the shooting range? Well, he's talking about how do you exit the level.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. There should be a marker on. It's just a door.
And it does make you do all the target practice stuff first. I just don't know what
you have to complete all of them, including the grenade one.
Yeah, maybe you missed one. He's been trying all afternoon, so I'm pretty sure he's probably tried everything.
It could be a bug too.
Yeah, it definitely could be. I hated that so much. I was like, don't force me to do this. I was so irritated. I was like, I did the first level. It was super duper short, and then did that, and I was like, okay, you're like really just kind of trying to stretch this out right now. And I was like, this could be optional. It'd be nice if you said, hey, over here is target practice, a shooting range. But instead, they were like, you have to do all of these. And I was like, this is so fucking boring. Don't make me do this on the second level.
Yeah, it was weird on the second level. But
sure.
the area itself is fine. But yeah, it was weird to start with the action and then go into that. It's like, oh, okay, going to slow things down a bit.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, just keep up the momentum. Like keep it going strong. Professor Lilith with the $5 tip says the Gamecats have spoken. Bring on the giant spiders. Sunday multiplayers, January 23rd, 2 p.m. Eastern. Farpoint, 2-player co-op, aim controller, and gore.
Farpoint, get your Farpoint here.
Yep,
Farpoint.
Another great reason to join Discord. Get in on those multiplayer meetups. Sunday 2 p.m. We're going to play some Farpoint. I will not be there for this one, but I will try to get back into these soon. Remember, join the Discord. Click the link in the description. People are always messaging me saying, how do I access the Discord? Click the link in the description. Everywhere. What are you doing, Tornado? She's everywhere, man. All right.
Oh, man. I do love Farpoint. I will say, though, we did that top 25 favorite games recently, and, like, it's already changed drastically. I think No Man's Sky is my number one favorite game, and Farpoint maybe number 2, and, like, Saints and Sinners is back up top in, like, the top 3. I don't know what I was thinking that episode, but I don't know. My favorites change constantly, so... but yeah, man, I think the important part about this Live the Game trailer is that it had the upcoming big 3, which is Wanderer, Moss Book 2, and a game that we have some new news about. Probably all of our most anticipated game right now because it's going to be huge and amazing, and that is Zenith, the last city. I keep saying Zenith. It's so hard.
Yep.
I think it's supposed to be Zenith.
I say both. It depends on which day it is. Excuse me. Dragoon's Eye 76 with the $2 tip says Sony should just buy the phrase "Link Start." What is that? Why is that not ringing a bell? But yeah, I definitely need a little bit of help in the catchphrase department, dude. Zenith looks awesome. Zenith is awesome. I'm really curious to see if anything will be different from Beta 2 when we get into the final version. I can't imagine there will be too much. They've got a lot of plans for the future. I'm sure they have a pretty decent roadmap. But once they reveal that roadmap, man, I'm going to be really excited because I love what they're doing so far, and I just kind of can't wait to see all the stuff that they're going to add to this. But I'm definitely getting ahead of myself because we should be talking about the launch and not what's happening further on. And they confirmed a discount for launch members, right?
They're crazy. They're out of their mind. This game is already like for $30, you get a huge MMO. As far as I know, because I've gotten this question a bunch, there is no monthly subscription that you have to have for the game, because World of Warcraft did that back in the day where you'd have to purchase the game and you'd have to pay monthly. It's just, I think it's just, you just buy the game and you have PlayStation Plus, and now they're offering a 10% discount on the game. I hope each and every one of you are going to be picking this up and joining us and having some fun, because it's going to be awesome, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, I'm not, you know me, man, I'm not really like that big on multiplayer stuff. It's really secondary for me. Like Wanderer should be the game I'm most excited about because I'm such a single player, like solitary person. I just want to take it all in and just explore every corner and do my own thing. But this is really changing. I mean, VR has really changed me to become really interested in playing more multiplayer stuff. And then this is my really my first MMO that I've ever gotten into.
Yes.
So and I'm a little shocked. I think it's made me curious, like what I missed out on in the past. But yeah, man, I'm really excited. So you guys are gonna have to get out there and on day one and join the Gamecat Dojo Guild, because right now we're not finding any answers when it comes to limit numbers on guilds. Like, we don't know how many people can join us, and so
they haven't answered this question directly, correct? But I've been looking everywhere to find some kind of thing, and now take this with a grain of salt. But I did see people in their Discord, mentioning a guild having almost 275 people, something like that.
Damn.
So I can't. That's not an official thing, so we can't go by that, unfortunately. But I think there's going to be a lot of people you can add to a guild.
Professor Lilith in the chat says, "Did I miss something? Is Zenith on the store already?" And I think we might have buried the lead a little bit here. The developers Ramen VR have announced that they're going to give us a 10% discount at launch, and that's kind of the big news story here. The game is already just going to be $30, which I think AJ and I both agree is about $10 to $20 less than it could be. They could could have charged a lot more for what they're offering at launch. And then on top of that, an extra $3 off. Is that 10% on? Yeah. So it's about $26.99, I'm assuming. It is not currently available for pre-order. It is on other platforms, but they said it will be up on the PlayStation Store shortly.
It's not available for pre-order on Steam or PSVR yet, but it will be, and they said they will be they are working to match that price discount too. So we'll see what happens.
Yep, an inexpensive game, even more inexpensive. Virtual Strangers is here saying the most important thing in the chat: I represent the Lollipop Guild.
I represent the Lollipop Guild. We're of course going to be supporting the Gamecat Dojo.
That's right. So look, again, without any confirmation of how many players you can add to a guild, it's going to be kind of first come, first serve. So everybody's getting in on day one. Like, get into the Zenith Discord, get into our Discord, and find our Zenith channel, and we'll be just adding people left and right. Again, on a first come, first serve basis.
We usually have a rule against pre-orders. This is the second the pre-order goes live, pick this shit up immediately, and then we're gonna be running with some large groups. So we had a large group of people in the closed beta.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people. You'll see some gameplay footage of it in my tips video. And that was like nothing. I mean, that was nothing compared. So I think we're gonna have a shit ton of people. You really don't want to miss out.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. To the pre-order point, man. Yeah, we don't recommend pre-ordering anything, but we, if we played beta 1, we played beta 2, and even if some things still aren't fixed by the time that this game gets released, even if some of the cooking bugs still persist, even if some of the crashes still persist, like, it'll suck, but it's not like after the fall where it just fucking ruins everything. It's like, well, okay, that sucks, but let's jump back in and get back in there and do it and then play until, something else bad happens.
Actually, I was thinking about it during beta 2. I don't think I had a single crash.
I had 2 or 3 crashes, and
you did?
Yeah, and actually, so during my 5-hour live stream, I don't remember if I had a crash, and I think most of the crashes I had were right there at the end as they were making changes and shutting down servers for other platforms. So I'm assuming that was the problem, but I don't want to start like giving the developers any outs, being like, oh, it's fine, everything's great. It's like they were still issues, and hopefully they can patch all those things up before the final release. AJ.
Yo.
We just talked about End Dreams making a AAA VR studio, and hot on the heels of that amazing news, we just got some news about another amazing studio maybe creating another VR dedicated studio, and this is from our friends who probably aren't our friends anymore after my review. At Grounding, who made Space Channel 5. Kind of funky newsflash for PlayStation VR.
Yeah. I think we're all on the same page here where, I actually thought the game was fun, but it was 45 minutes long, and it was $40.
Yeah.
Like, Christ almighty, guys. So hopefully that's not going to be a thing we see again from them, because that's got to be one of the worst pricings I've ever seen in a game ever.
It's up there for sure. Yeah.
These
this studio has ties with Sega though, and man,
right.
Like, the fact that they're creating a dedicated VR studio gives me hope that the people at that studio are going to be more familiar with the VR ecosystem, familiar with pricing, familiar with what gamers are looking for, and also, if they still have these connections with Sega, hopefully bringing a lot of Sega classics into VR. I mean, we've said 1,000 times, why isn't anyone bringing Crazy Taxi into VR? Like, a straight fucking port of that game and that puts you in the driver's seat would be so much fun.
I both agree and disagree. I would love to have Crazy Taxi back. I would love Jet Set Radio. I would love, number one especially, House of the Dead VR. But do you want Grounding in charge of that? That's where I'm like, ooh, I don't know.
We've seen worse games from developers whose follow-up have been so much better. And so I really think that Space Channel 5, Kind of Funky Newsflash, was them testing the waters, trying to figure stuff out, like learning the ropes. And I do think that this studio has a lot of potential. I won't know if this is the team I want doing it. I'd rather have somebody doing it than nobody. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I certainly don't want like a $60 Crazy Taxi port that has some kind of issues. But it's promising, man. When I in my head, this was actually really surprising to me, because I was thinking to myself, well, this got an okay reception from the community. People who played it said, yeah, it's good. It's really short, and it feels like a one and done, even though there's this arcade element where you're like, I want to go back and do it over and over and over and over again to get a better score. That didn't rope me in, right? So I do think that despite this somewhat negative or middling reviews, it was good to see these guys believe in VR and say, well, this was our fault. Like, we're still going to pursue VR. We're still going to move forward with it. Because so many times developers have said, VR didn't work for us. We tried it once, and it was really their fault that the game didn't sell or that the game wasn't good. And then they're like, oh, that didn't work. We're going to move on. And so these guys seem like maybe they're a little bit more aware of the situation.
I hope so.
We have Spliffy, the smoking game cat with the 5 quid, saying, "Hi, all cats." Hello. With a recent...
Spliffy. I feel like we haven't seen Spliffy in a while, right?
I don't know. Have we not seen Spliffy?
Just been taking it easy, bro. I feel like I haven't seen Spliffy's name in a while.
With the recent Activision announcement, do you think it will encourage Sony to have a greater focus on VR in the future? It's so funny because I've seen it both ways. I've seen people saying both things. Oh, PSVR 2's dead. They got to focus on AAA flat screen stuff. It's like, no,
What?
I don't think so.
No, but they do. I think at most they just need to. Well, there was obviously another news story around it about Phil Spencer, or at least Microsoft and Sony talking together, and we'll have to see how that plays out. But I don't think that really affects us very much. I mean, what I do know is that this creates a bigger opportunity for developers making a first-person shooter to really make some noise here. And whether it be a Sony first party, Sony third party, if Call of Duty whatnot gets removed from PlayStation, which is now kind of up in the air, this gives opportunity for a new dev. So.
Yep. We got Texatron, the Port Shovel Game Cat, with $3 tip, says, "World's scariest plant, bamboo." It was
Good
random.
one, Texo.
It was random, and I loved it. All right, man. Let's move on to our next story, which brings us to Ken Kutaragi, also known as the father of PlayStation. Maybe not loving the idea of PSVR 2. Where does this article come to us from, AJ?
We are pulling this from Tech Radar, and it is Adam Vjestica. Says the title of the article is PSVR 2 will be simply annoying, according to PlayStation creator Ken Kutaragi. He says, Sony's PSVR 2 headset certainly sounds promising based on its impressive technical specifications, but PlayStation creator Ken Kutaragi has dismissed the Japanese company's second foray into virtual reality, and he doesn't like the sound of the metaverse either. In an interview with Bloomberg, the 71-year-old Kutaragi said that the biggest issue with virtual reality headsets like Sony's PSVR 2 is the fact that devices stop you from being in the real world.
Whoa. Ken, hold up, man. Talking crazy there. Wait,
other video games don't. Other video games don't. Other movies don't. Books don't take you out of the real world. None of that stuff takes you out of the real world. That is all, as according to Mr. Kutaragi, all of that stuff is actually real life.
From the beginning of history, people have been trying to find more ways to pull you away from reality, and he's like, "This is a terrible thing." The father of PlayStation has decided that VR is bad because it pulls you away from real life.
I can't disrespect this man. Okay, he is.
He's disrespecting you, AJ.
He is the creator of the PlayStation 1, which is like. So important to me. Yeah. So I will always respect this guy for what he did, but he's a little out of touch. Obviously, he's a little out of touch with the modern world, and you can't blame him. 71 years old. He's probably tending to his garden every day.
It just
doesn't know what's going on.
It just reeks of an old man yelling, "Get off my lawn!" Right? It's like, man, you know what, sir? I don't like. With all due respect, your opinion no longer matters. I think people of all ages, their opinion is important and valid. But I would be curious to find out what his relationship is with gaming these days. That is, I think, I would bet. I would really bet that he hasn't played that many games since he left Sony, because I don't think it ended well.
Well, to continue, he says headsets would isolate you from the real world, and I can't agree with that. Headsets are simply annoying. For similar reasons, Kutaragi isn't a fan of the metaverse and likened the idea of interacting as a virtual avatar to being the same as posting anonymously on the internet, because nobody does that. Being in the real world is very important, but the metaverse is about making quasi-real in the virtual world, and I can't see the point of doing it. Kutaragi, you would rather be a polished avatar instead of your real self? That's essentially no different from anonymous message board sites. Brian, what the fuck is he talking about?
I don't.
'Cause I don't know.
I don't even understand anymore, man. It's like for so long we've reveled in the idea of becoming someone else and going on this big epic adventure, whether it be on a flat screen, on a portable system, doesn't matter, man. It's like since day one of video games, we've this has been a release. This has been something like a form of escapism, and VR has brought that escapism to the highest level we've seen thus far. And so for him to be like all gung ho about video games, and then this be the reason that he's not into VR.
I mean, yeah, what's he doing talking to these people? Did people like reach out to him and bother him about this or something? You would think, man, that during a global pandemic, this guy would realize the importance of this technology, the importance of stuff like a metaverse or just online gaming or being on the internet. This has been an escape for a lot of people that have had limitations in what they can go and do without the risk of death. So, for me personally, I would have been alone on my birthday on New Year's Eve, if not for VR. And I had probably my favorite birthday that I can even remember, because of it. Going into Rec Room and going to different. It was like a camping lodge with fireworks and like all the game cats were in there, and it was amazing, man. And I got to connect with people in a time where and do it safely. So like I think of I disagree with what he's saying, but it's even more nonsensical when you put it in the context of the day of today.
Dreamcasting channel with the $2 tip says Ken's right. I'd rather shoot real life zombies. Like, well, that's true.
Damn.
The only part that I could possibly see being like legitimate here is that VR is annoying, like having to put something on your face to play a video game. Like I can see people not being into that idea. That's where this argument for me starts and stops. Everything else he said is just nonsense. So I think this is to me this is a pretty throwaway article. But it was also important to bring up because it's like, it just because you've done something revolutionary in video games doesn't mean you're always going to be a forward thinker.
Well, shame on all the articles that publish this. Journalism is so they won't hesitate for
journalism.
1 second. Yeah, I mean, some of these mainstream media outlets, they won't hesitate to be like, "Oh, we've got the latest and greatest shit post we can spread around." I mean, they should know better than to spread this dumb messaging around, this really poor messages. And really, if you go and look at the best part about this, I went to like the IGN one. I don't know why, but I went and looked at the comment section, and like that was even more hilarious. I mean, it's so like the people that like agreed with him are just there to shit on VR, and they know absolutely nothing about how any of it works or any significance of it. It's amazing to me, man. They talk about how it's bad for mental health. Before VR and this community, I used to suffer from really bad depression, and I feel like I haven't been depressed in years, man. Ever since joining VR, the movement, and it has really turned my life around, and I've honestly never been happier.
I mean, to your point, I mean, dude, COVID has been. I can't say that VR's cured my depression. I don't think anything's ever going to do that. But it certainly helps. There's been a lot of dark times in my life, and in being able to be with other people, especially during a time where like leaving your house is fucking scary, right? To be able to put on a headset and suddenly be somewhere else with a bunch of other people, whether it be running around killing zombies, hanging out in Rec Room, like shooting people, like going on quests in Zenith. There's so many examples that like when I look back at those, I'm like, that was me hanging out with people. That wasn't me isolating myself in VR. And so I do agree that it's VR feels like it's more important than ever during this time.
Yeah, and it's a lot more intimate than regular game. I mean, how are you going to sit there and say that when there's like already like multiplayer online competitive shooters where all you hear is people going fuck, like just over and over, or like, you know, talking shit. There's like these awful toxic communities. And then you've got something like VR that is a lot more mature, a lot more just like, I don't know. It's a lot more intimate, like I said, and you connect with people even more. I have, you know, all of us are usually not the most like multiplayer centric people, but I definitely have become more social because of VR, interacting with people online. I wanted to be anonymous, like online, and VR actually has brought me out of that shell a little bit. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it's a completely misguided take. And yeah, I get that he's the grandfather of PlayStation or whatever, but you know, times be a changing.
Waleed Saeed Faridi with the Canadian $2 tip says, seems like Microsoft bought Mr. Ken as well. There's actually been quite a few interesting comments in the chat. Professor Lowe says Kutaragi gets to decide for himself whether he wants to play VR. It's absolutely 100% the truth. It's like, I mean, it's what he thinks about VR doesn't really influence any of us. But if you don't like VR, you don't play VR. There's no issue there. Neon Group says, honestly, I don't enjoy wearing the headset, but it's worth the discomfort to me. So it's, yeah, I mean, so there's definitely people in the chat who, you know, see where he's coming from, but I don't know, man. It's like,
yeah, I mean, look, you know, everyone's allowed to have their opinion, and I know nothing about this guy. I don't even think I knew who he was until this article came out. And I've been playing PlayStation since day one. So it, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is, indeed. But anytime someone says something crazy about VR, we're always here to listen because, if nothing else, it's entertaining. But dude, some really good news dropped. I think it was yesterday. Shell Games announced that one of their games is getting a big update sometime soon. AJ, what do we know so far about the Until You Fall Kneon update version 1.03?
Man, what a surprise this was. Hopefully all of you went and picked it up Until You Fall when it was free on PlayStation Plus for like 2 months. If you missed it, then I don't know. But all we got, Brian, was a tweet from the Until You Fall official Twitter account that says, prepare yourself, champion. An exciting new update is coming. More details will be unraveled soon. And they show they've got a little thing that says the future is Neon with a Kneon, and they say version 1.3 approaches. This is cool news, man. Awesome news.
It is awesome news, and it was sort of one of those things that we always expected, right? Like the developers were fairly coy when we asked them about it during interviews and you know, responses on Twitter. But there was always this thing where, like, if you looked at the trophy list, when you beat the campaign for the first time, it said, I forget what it said. It said the reward was, or the award said, you know, that you've beaten the Cursed Forest or whatever the hell. You've beaten the Cursed Forest campaign. And so it was like, well, wait a minute. It doesn't say you beat the game. It says you beat this campaign. Like, and they gave it a name. And so to me, that, like, just, and especially as for a team that was so hellbent on giving us more and more and more and more free content for I Expect You to Die, they basically doubled the size of that game with, what was it, at least 3 huge pieces of DLC that it seemed like a no-brainer for Until You Fall. And so all of that adding up together, this isn't a surprise to me, but it also seemed like Until You Fall got a little far away from us. They released I Expect You to Die 2, and they were just really quiet on this. Did you expect to see this at a certain point? Had you given up hope?
I am so disappointed, and I'm so disappointed.
I'll double down on that.
That too. I'm so disappointed in Shell Games because clearly this is some scummy tactic to cut. They had another part of the game that they cut out, and now they're just trying to resell it to us. And I am just so disappointed. Nothing they make is quality. No, I'm just kidding. Shell Games is amazing, and this game kicks loads of ass. And you know, I was hoping. I didn't lose all hope, but I was like very not sure because there's hints of something. Unless it's confirmed, you never know. Maybe, I know Until You Fall sold well on other platforms, which is what gave me a little bit of hope. But I know on PSVR, their timing was not very good, and they got buried. Yeah. I mean, they got buried. Until You Fall got buried under Swordsman, under The Walking Dead Onslaught, and Star Wars Squadrons. So it was really unfortunate timing for them. And this PlayStation Plus thing was probably one of the biggest things they could have done. I was really surprised to see them in there, but I know they have a good relationship with Sony. So long story short, I was hopeful that we would get more content because I do like this game.
Yeah, I feel like this game was sort of just kind of pushed onto the PlayStation Store because, like you said, it got dropped during a crazy time. I think we got 8 PSVR games over the course of like 3 weeks, and there were some really big heavy hitters during this time, and even like the smaller games. I think this came out like during the same month as like budget cuts, so like even the smaller games like had a little bit of VR cred out there from being on other platforms. So this I feel like Shell just kind of pushed this out there, knowing full well that eventually there would be an audience, and maybe with an update, when they updated it, they'd get to shine the light back on their game, and maybe that would be the time that they'd get more sales. But before we move on from this, because I think this is really a big deal. I mean, what do you expect from this update? Do you think there's going to be? Do you think it's just going to be new enemies? Do you think there's a whole new area? Because they've been very, very quiet since the announcement about what exactly will be included in this.
Yeah, I mean, well, they haven't given us anything other than saying like this is coming out, and we don't know anything. I mean, it could be version 1.3. It could be a whole new area, a whole new campaign. It could be some new weapons. All I do know is that Neon and VR are awesome, and I like Neon a lot. Yeah. I love stuff with neon designs, and especially like when there's like a black, everything's dark, and then there's like the neon stuff in it that's glowing. This game has a fantastic art style, and just overall art design. So I'm really excited to see what this turns out to be. How about you?
I think Emily Baxter has a way better response than I could ever. She says, "Damn, I was hoping they would take the neon out of the game with the update." That might be my favorite comment of the day. Emily Baxter is notorious for not liking cartoon games.
The art style is so good, and this is not a cartoony game.
Well, the art style is what it is it really lends itself to being like, hey, if we just use a different hue, a different color, and we just use a little bit of different geometry, it's not detailed to the point where like you're gonna have the artists working around the clock for a year coming up with a new environment, right? It's like, and as long as like it's different enough, and then you can just like slap a different hue into each area, because this game, you remember, it starts off green and then you end up in the red area. The red area is near the end. There's a purple area.
Dark purple, yeah.
Right. So you just do that with a new with new assets, and then suddenly you have like this whole new campaign again. I'm really hoping we see a little bit more variety when it comes to weapons, because in the game, dude, I was so happy when I beat this game. I was like, I felt so accomplished, because at the beginning I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to beat this. And when I finally did, I was like, yes, man, I feel really accomplished. Like, it felt good to beat this. Like, it was difficult. And not only did I have to level up my character, but I had to get better as a player. And that was my favorite thing about this, and one of my favorite things about roguelites in general. And so I really hope that there's new weapons that they can experiment with, because at the end, like you get these claws, almost like Wolverine type claws, and so they started experimenting with things that were just different from traditional swords. And so I'd like to see what else they have up their sleeve. If like a different enemy type could warrant a different type of weapon to fight them with.
Yeah, I've always said this game has really amazing enemy design and enemy AI, and really great weapons. So all of these new environments I would absolutely be the thing I hope to see. And I think we'll get at least some of that, at the very least.
Yeah, Shell Games doesn't take too long to get anything done. I think
And Shell Game's a top-notch developer too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they don't mess around.
Yeah, when we were talking about studios, was it Wednesday show or Monday show?
Yeah, why didn't they? Yeah, you put me on the spot. I didn't think of them.
I'm always putting you on the spot. Always testing you, seeing if you get the metal to compete. The Shell Games is definitely one of those studios that is so focused on VR that I could totally see them, continuing to put types of games out like I Expect You to Die, like Until You Fall, but also experiment and see like can we do something even bigger? Do we have the capabilities for a AAA studio and compete with the big boys? And I think these guys are solid. Like they really know what they're doing when it comes to VR, and I think they will be very, very competitive next gen.
Yeah, at the very least, from an indie games standpoint,
That's right.
if they expanded or whatnot, yeah, they definitely could do a lot more.
I mean, well, oh, dude, I didn't even think about this. Old Darth says, "Until You Fall" needs Lord of the Rings style music. Dude, how cool would it be if they just went a totally different direction with the music this time around? Because that was such a big part of the gameplay.
Synthwave, right?
It almost like I felt like I was playing a rhythm game, even though it's not a rhythm game. Like you just get into that, and it just drives you forward.
I don't know. I think I'd like synthwave, unless they do like rock or metal or something. I think I like synthwave more than the alternatives. When I think of neon, I think of like EDM and techno.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to anyone out there, I don't like EDM. I don't like techno, and so I don't know. Maybe if it's video gamified enough, I would love it. Fun fact, I was listening to the Mega Man 2 soundtrack today. Still one of the best OSTs of any game ever. Oh my god. I think Mega Man 2 and Final Fantasy VII are my two favorite soundtracks of all time. But yeah, I was listening to that while in the shower, and I was just like, fuck, this soundtrack's so good.
Nice. I've been playing OG Game Boy games quite a bit, and I did try out
Nice.
the first Mega Man game on Game Boy, which is okay.
That one's all right.
Yeah, and actually, I got to be honest, I kind of talked some shit about the OG Castlevania games on Game Boy, and at least they're better than I remember them being. They're decent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. They're really good.
All right, man.
Among Us
Before
VR. Yep.
we move on to our final segment, we got a tip from Mad Max, the Metaverse Gamecat VR, with a $20 tip. Says, when my dad died last year from COVID, I was very depressed and alone because of the pandemic. If it wasn't for the Gamecats and VR events, I would have gone through that alone. Don't like multiplayer, but love social VR. VR for life.
Right. Yeah, I've always been, VR has helped me define something else I like. By the way, love you, Mad Max. Thanks for the awesome message, and always here for you, man. Always need anything, hit me up, homie. But yeah, I think he's right in that. So I've never liked competitive multiplayer as much. I mean, I still like it sometimes. It can be very addicting when done right. But I've typically liked co-op, and I think social multiplayer has become something I've been more accustomed to since VR.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think just being social in general VR has changed that for me. I told I've said it before on the show that sometimes I just sit in voice chat all day and have conversations with people who come through in Discord and while I'm working, like while I'm sitting and editing. Hasn't been so much this week because I've been on my couch all week. I promise you guys. I promise you. Like I swear, I've said this all week. Every single day, I've said the exact same thing. I said tomorrow's going to be the day where I feel all better, and I really think that it's actually truthful today. Although somebody just told me that maybe I have, I don't know. Maybe I might be dying. No, it's not. I'm not dying.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
Gyson says, you don't like the Mortal Kombat song, AJ? I do like the Mortal Kombat song. Mm-hmm. I guess I do like I like industrial metal and industrial rock. I love Nine Inch Nails. I like electronic music. I said I don't like poppy stuff. I don't like EDM. I hate poppy techno. Like pop and techno are like the two things I probably hate most in this world.
The older I've gotten, the more I've embraced more poppy music. It used to be like very, very like if
poppy music.
If it's
there's
not
some
rock
good.
or
There's some
grunge,
exceptions.
Punk,
yeah,
but yeah, no, I've embraced my mellow side as I've gotten older, and I've really enjoyed branching out and trying new things.
I like to try new things. Sometimes I like it, but yeah. Anyways, Brian.
AJ, it's the final segment of the show. It's time for PSVR 20 questions. I'm the host this week, which means you out there and AJ have 20 yes or no questions to ask me to figure out which PlayStation VR game I'm thinking of. There's also only 6 minutes. You also only have 6 minutes to do it. AJ.
Last week you had the buzzer beater with Vrog. Last Gamescast.
Thanks to Hugh Guyver, man. That had nothing to do
Yes.
with me. I was ready to fucking throw in the towel and be like, I'm gonna go back to sleep and eat ramen noodles in my sleep. Oh man, if I eat ramen
Mark
noodles,
Pringlesleaf says, I enjoy listening to Oprah.
Winfrey? not opera.
All right, continue, please. Sorry, I didn't mean
All right, are you ready?
yes.
All right, man. 6 minutes starting now.
Does it have move support?
I don't know what game it is. Yes.
Oh, you're going to need to know. Does it have DualShock 4 support?
No.
Okay.
I had to look. I was like, I wasn't sure.
Is it a horror game?
No.
Is it sci-fi?
Yeah, it is sci-fi. That's 4.
Is it a puzzle game?
It is a puzzle game. Look at you, kicking ass only a quarter of the way through your questions.
Does
Already
this
getting
game
there.
have a voice actress that does a voice in another really, really popular game?
This is not D-Magnet, no.
All right, sci-fi puzzle game, guys. Sci-fi puzzle game. Does it have full locomotion?
It does have full locomotion.
Has this developer made other games, PSVR games?
This developer, to my knowledge, has not made other PSVR games. I got a tornado butt in my face.
Okay, got some good ones here. Is this a good game? Would I consider this a good game?
I don't think
neither
one of us consider this a good game.
Okay. Did it come out within the last year?
It did come out within the last year.
Do you play in a wheelchair?
You do play in a wheelchair. God
Is it
damn.
gravitational?
Is this because of Shades of Grey Matter?
Woo! I think I saw a bunch of people.
Gravitational.
255 beats. I mean, this was an easy one for me. I'm a sci-fi nerd, dude. I know my sci-fi. And yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, not a great game, but it is an award-winning game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always shocked. Like the worst games always get some award from somewhere. I was like,
What is up with that?
I don't know. I feel like there's places out there that if you just want an award, you can probably pay them a couple $100 and they'll be like, here's your award, and yeah, you can advertise it. It's like, who the hell are you people?
If any of you develop a game, Tiffany, send it in to us and we will give you an award, and just make sure it has some money, maybe another signed poster with it.
I'm not sure you understand how Without Parole works, AJ. I'm not. Maybe this is how you do things over on the underground, but that's not how we do things over here. Without Parole.
We call it the underground for a reason.
Oh my God.
What happens in the underground stays in the underground, Brian.
My goodness, man. My goodness. You're proving to be more and more untrustworthy by the day.
Oh, yeah.
But I love you so much, man. And thank you so much for being here with me. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to AJ, even with his money-grubbing ways over at PSVR Underground.
All my reviews are paid.
That's right. That's certainly a box quote you want. that should be it, man. Gravitational. All my box quotes are paid. Yep. Thank you guys so much. Everybody supports us right here by donating. Thank you to everybody who supports us on patreon.com/withoutparolegames. Trust me, you guys are the ones keeping this channel running, keeping my really fucking terrible lights on, and making sure that we get to do this for you 3 times a week, and that all the other videos come to you. Again, I've been sick this week, so I apologize for the lack of content. Hopefully we'll make it up to you next week with a couple reviews, lots and lots of other great videos in the works, and I'm very excited to share all that with you when the time comes. Don't forget to subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground. Thank you again to everybody who donates. Thank you to everybody on Patreon, and thank you to everybody who sat back, watched the show, didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there, and we love you just as much. AJ, let's cue the cat.
You're the cat, Brian, because I want to say have a wonderful weekend to GC the Diet Pepsi cat. I said 6 out of 10 without the poster. Let's say the sinners. No, everyone knows I got this poster after because I'm just such a sweet boy. Isn't that right? Mad Max the Metaverse Game Cat says y'all stupid. We know, Mad Max. That's why you're friends with us. That's why you like us. Hack the Game Cat, Flame Hat, the love of his life, Cat.
He says so your voice is extra sexy when you're sick, Brian. Thank you, Flame Hat. I love you so much.
LC2552 beat the musical Game Cat. Carson fist bump to you. David the Game Cat runs. Much love to you as well, my friend.
David, run.
Didn't he do? I think he said he did Farpoint in like 60 minutes or like 26 minutes. I don't remember. Whatever it was.
I won't give him a shout out until he gets to under 10 minutes.
Alberto Mapom, the Game Cat dog. I got cojones. Emily Baxter, hashtag the cartoony witch game kitten. Says cue to crappy neon. Shades of Gray Matter says feel better, Brian.
Thank you.
Gabriel 004, the license to meow Game Cat. Wave to yourself, good sir. Time to play with Game Cats. Yes, it is. He says crypto got to go. Let's go Zenith. I mean, I agree. I don't know the connection, but Hugh Guyver in the chat tonight. Shout out to your cousin Mac. Tell the old boy down under that we miss him. I almost watched Crocodile Dundee 2 on Netflix. My foot's still injured, so I'm having to take breaks and prop my foot up. But I'm trying to do better.
Neither one of us are firing on all cylinders these days. I'm proud of us for keeping this fucking train running, dude.
Yeah, man. My foot is literally propped up right now. I'm so uncomfortable. Endeavor 1 in the chat tonight. Ninja Cat, the sacred master, will teach you the art of the water tiger. Ian Stambridge, JC, the inimitable, dual-wielding, ass-kicking Game Cat, GT7 hype train gathering speed now. Oh, yeah, baby. You know it. Neon Groove, stay glowy. And Old Darth says, swipe the likes, cats.
I'm sorry. I think the most important comment from the chat just came through, and that's from GC13, the Diet Pepsi Game Cat, saying, AJ, you're kind of being a baby about your toe.
I am.
That's awesome.
There's a darker. You don't want me to follow up to that, but yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
I hear.
Kissy make you feel better. Kissy make you feel better.
All yours history says hashtag cancel AJ's a little piggy. Cancel AJ's little piggy.
I wish I could just chop the bastard off. Hugh Guyver says, smash the Zenith button, Tarzan.
Nice, dude. I'm sitting here, right, and I'm like, we got to end the stream because all I hear is tornadoes sitting on my bathroom countertop, just swiping things into the toilet one by one. All I hear is like little splashes, and I know what she's doing. She's just knocking like disposable razors and probably a toothbrush. I just hear things falling into the toilet one after another after another.
Well, before we get out of here, Mark Pringlesleaf just says you should go listen to some Oprah.
Well, I guess I know what I'm doing tonight. Ramen noodles in Oprah. Port shovel.